I don't try and purposely bring this back to gaming every time, but I just think in terms of where some of the technology is being best applied is often in these games. We've also seen photography being used in rendering software to great effect. Last week we also saw ESPN and League of Legends. So I don't try and always make it game related, but this was the last one. I promise will be. This is something that obviously happened within the last 7 days, and this is all around Fortnite. And I recall seeing this done before with the first one and being amazed. So the first time they did a live event was with Marshmello. I'd never heard of the guy, and I didn't know what his music was like, and I came to like it, unfortunately. But they did a live event, and that really struck me as something completely different because you had so many concurrent players all being shown the same game at one time, like a live event within your, your on your PlayStation or you're on your PC or whatever. And they've just done it again with Travis Scott, and they had a record for the most concurrent players. I think it's around 12.3 million concurrent players at one time. And this is, for a content sort of perspective, it has a whole lead up to it, and it has a huge event, and it has a huge amount of follow up afterwards. And I suspect it's one of the ways that is going to change a lot of the ways that people show their live events, or at least try to promote their content, will be via these types of platforms.
You and I talk about Fortnite a lot.
Too much.
Yeah. I've never been good at it. You are. I'm trying to get you over to Warzone, but different discussion. But the one thing that's fascinated us about Fortnite is their content and how they roll it out, how something goes wrong on the map, which then leads to a bigger story, or you'll see something in the sky and there's a big video for the next season that's coming. And I love that. And for the record, Warzone is going to start doing that as well. There's things happening there, and that their content is great. But the thing that's happening here is we know Fortnite has got some serious numbers. And there's been, these concerts haven't been the only one. The last Star Wars film was promoted on there for a while as well. Everybody got skins, but they even released hidden scripts and spoilers from a film that hadn't been released yet. That's how powerful the thing has become. Virtual concerts, though, probably a good time to do it now. We've spoken on 2 episodes now about what people are doing on Zoom, so probably wouldn't have been relevant to do it on there. So how can we do this big and that kind of stuff? So Fortnite was something they wanted to try. Now, interestingly enough, probably, 10, 11 years ago, I worked at an agency, and I didn't work, but there was a team there that did a campaign on Second Life. If everybody remembers Second Life.
That is old school.
I don't even know if it's still going, but
sub-server somewhere.
They arranged for a brand to sponsor a gig. They did a Duran Duran concert in Second Life, and this was promoted. It had the whole thing back in the day. Then in Media Land was all about media firsts and this amazing tech and what you can do. So we would always, whatever the coolest gimmick was, we'd shove that down the client's throats and things like that. And this client bought into it. I almost said their name then. This was promoted, PR'd, featured in the news about it. There wasn't social media too big at the time, so we didn't really talk about their big promotion. 2 people turned up. Right?
What?
2 people. There were 2 people at the live gig walking around, and a flop of note.
That must have been
to 12 million. Look, somebody who's listened to this, whoever worked on that campaign, might say, hey, it was 10, not 2. I don't know. I heard 2 in a conversation, so don't hold that against me. I haven't got the report. It's been a while. Anyway, but then you look at this now, that people are doing this because it's just changed so much. I watched the video. I watched the Travis one, and it's very clever what they've done there. It's still got that Fortnite theme with the, people's characters and things like that. But a lot of people are also saying it was showing the power of the engine that runs Fortnite. And what they can achieve with it from camera angles, because Travis was quite giant walking over the map, wasn't he? The way they did it, and it was cool because it wasn't a typical step. It was really good.
Engine.
It was really good what they did, and I remember it was really good when they did the Star Wars one as well. And I think this is something like what's happening now. It's a land grab for this kind of stuff. So if you look, for instance, I've had 2 concerts cancelled on me because of COVID. And I don't think I could stand to watch another favorite band of mine doing an acoustic cover of one of my tracks in the back of the garden. And it's like, shit, now you're real. You're not this rock god,
Yeah.
So these guys are really clever with Travis Scott. It's like, we've got to do something big. Where are people that there's probably more than 50 stadiums worth of people in this room. How can we do it? Fortnite. Let's do it on Fortnite. And there's probably some research with his marketing team. His audience are probably on there anyway, so it probably worked for him. It's not like you're going to get Taylor Swift on there. So
He's hoping.
yeah, very clever move. And it might be now's time if you're in a music act or you've got big budgets or you're somebody bigger, is what else could I do? What, should you do a Twitch of a live gig, or
Mhm.
I don't know. But the thing is, what was quite cool about Fortnite is that if you looked around and there were all the other people there, it was like you were at a concert, because there were people there. They were walking around, they were dancing.
Well, people were watching this, with their friends. You join a 4-man squad, and
Got
you're
that.
there with your friends. Yeah,
Yep.
you're experiencing it with them at the same time, and that's exactly what they
Travis
wanted.
Scott's big. I mean, he's massive, so he's obviously going to get watchers. You'll probably find, if you look at the numbers, there was probably another 10 million people playing Fortnite that weren't interested in it.
Well, I think now they've made it. Yeah, potentially. I'm not sure if you could still get servers, because I remember one of them, you could only do that mode. So they basically make it so as you have to watch this thing, because Fortnite has switched, I think, from being a game developer to being an experience. They sell an experience at the end of the day, because now you can buy stuff on there. You can have the shows. People are more excited about these live events at the end of every season.
Since I played it, then
Yeah, it's because I think that's where they're moving. They're becoming more of it. I mean, that's where a lot of the money is. These games are free. It's a free game. Same with Warzone, free game. So what do they where do they get the money? The revenue is from anything you buy. So engagement is super important at this stage. So if you're having regular live events,
sorry, Red, carry on.
no, done.
You also got to think about, right, is PUBG was the original battle royale, right? Or was it?
Sure.
Or which was?
Yeah, there was H1Z1,
That was
and
it.
then
Right.
yeah.
So I don't really know the games, but they established the battle royale. Fortnite owned it, like they turned it into something massive, whatever. But now all your AAA titles, like your Call of Duties, or be it Apex Legend, are using this same engine. So a lot of your players are going to start going away and all that. The likes of COD, who have a paid subscription with Battle Pass and upgrades and things like that, and Fortnite's always been free. And so, just like a social network, just like a social channel, they need to bring people back for a reason. So I might pop into Fortnite tonight and I'm still getting my ass kicked because I'm crap at it. But I'll be like, oh, what's this? And venture in there. And it's another way of delivery. And it's kind of a virtual world. Like if we're looking at World of Warcraft kind of level, Second Life that we mentioned earlier and things like that. These people live in the Fortnite world and they live in lobbies and they talk to their friends in there. And it's a kind of it's a completely different genre, but same principle. You have an online presence, you have a character,
Absolutely.
you meet up with friends, you have a certain clan that you stick with.
You're invested in it.
Is wanting to put original content so that these guys stay. So you're going to see some exclusive gigs in there, some exclusive tracks, launches of films, all that. Very clever move.
It's because before you would have just launched. I mean, the latest Star Wars film would have launched with some adverts, some pre-roll on YouTube, some stuff on some regular brand tie-ups. Now, and that's in some ways it could be the downfall of Fortnite. They've gone too heavy because a lot of their development has gone towards these huge events. If you've got this thing that's going to make you several £1 million, you're obviously going to throw developers at it to get it done on time because it's under contract, as opposed to developing the game. So there's this kind of playoff, but actually for content, it's huge. You're just getting this constant narrative, and this is what they call it. They call it narrative style live events, and that's what's coming to Warzone as well, because they realized it's about attention retention. Mm-hmm. You need to be able to keep people's attention coming back time and time again. As you say, you may only jump into Fortnite every live event, but they still get you there, and you may spend $30 on something, $10 on something. They don't care. You're still getting money, and effectively that company is paid for to be on that platform.
Yep.
So they get paid either way.
There's a lot. I mean, a lot of the stuff, if you look at the thread of the stuff we've spoken about on this episode as well, and you look at all this, and it's a lot of people are making moves quick. People are making things happen quick. People are having to see what can we work with to get stuff done. Now, granted, the Travis Scott stuff might have been planned months ago.
Yeah.
Not just because of COVID. I mean, I don't think after watching it, you could have turned that round in a couple of days. But with all the press that it's getting, 12 million?
12 million.
You're going to see a couple more on there. You're going to start seeing packages. You can see partnerships with Spotify. You're going to see, because Fortnite's proved the numbers. We're not just a game, like.
I think that's where they're moving to. They're not just a game anymore. They're a platform for. They've commercialized their
Quite
game.
interesting if they did some sort of like, I'm just guessing. So, I've never really been a fan of in-game advertising in the sense like they used to do it back in the day. Used to work with a company under Microsoft where you would have like a movie poster on a wall somewhere,
Yeah.
and an impression was counted on a cube. So if you walked past it with your character and looked at it, that was maybe a split second. If you came back, now it's 1
Okay.
second. If you got to 3 seconds, that was counted as a view. So that's how you got impressions in game. Didn't do a thing for your brand. One, the
Oh, of
person
course.
going to click and go out of the game for it. Two, you're interrupting their escapism in the game. But now I'm thinking, if these numbers are like what they're doing on Fortnite, and they decide, hey, let's do a self-service ad server like Facebook has, and Instagram and Twitter and all those guys, where I can go and advertise, and somewhere in the game on a skin, my brand's going to be, or somewhere on a unicorn running down the hill, my brand's going to be. But I think we might be far away from that, because the problem is with in-game advertising, it interrupts the fantasy.
Yeah.
Be interested to see what they're going to do. A lot of times these guys start off, Facebook did, all of them, they start off and the big brands can pay to be there. They can pay to play. Then as soon as they open self-service, anyone with 10 quid can get straight in.
I think
What happens.
Yeah, I think they'll hold off from that, because I think they won't want to do pay to play, because they know full well the value of theirs is by having high ticket signups with brands like Travis Scott. They had Michael Jordan, like the shoes. They had the Jordans on there as well. That was a whole game mode. So effectively, they're not trying to interrupt your experience. They're only trying to enhance it, which is why these live events are entire things where you cannot do anything else but enjoy this event. So they've actually found a way around that impression element. They're saying, we're going to get you 12 million people all looking at your product or your thing for the next, let's say the event lasts 15 minutes. That's exactly, dedicated. People will be talking about it, and that's all you bought. So I don't think they're going to do anything more than that. I'll be really interested to see how Warzone adapts this as well, because from what I understand, I haven't played it. And from what I understand is there's kind of a narrative style at the start of every season, but they're hoping to include end of season and much more like live events in the Fortnite.